the science of sense regulation. Modern neuroscience validates ancient teachings about the importance of sense regulation. Research shows that practices like mindful eating, digital fasting, and sensory meditation literally rewire the brain, strengthening areas associated with self-control while reducing reactivity to impulsive desires. Studies of successful athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs consistently show that peak performance requires the ability to delay immediate gratification in service of longer-term goals. The sun's temperance, invincible besides, for no allurement yields to appetite, represents the perfected state toward which all spiritual discipline aims. This doesn't mean suppressing natural needs, but rather maintaining conscious choice about when and how to satisfy them, ensuring that physical requirements serve spiritual purposes rather than dominating them. A person fixed in spiritual consciousness is automatically trained not to accept food not meant for human consumption. This extends beyond dietary choices to include all forms of sensory input, entertainment, information, social interactions that either support or undermine spiritual development. The sun's refusal confirms that the path to curbing destructive desire begins with regulation of the senses, ensuring that the body is maintained only to remain fit for service to the divine. Applications of sense regulation. The principle of sense regulation finds practical application across all areas of modern life. Digital consumption. Just as the sun refuses to create bread from stones for immediate gratification, contemporary practitioners might establish boundaries around social media use, choosing specific times for checking messages rather than responding to every notification impulse. This creates space for deeper focus and more meaningful activities. Consumer choices. The spiritual principle of need versus want becomes relevant when making purchasing decisions. Rather than buying items impulsively based on advertising appeals or social pressure, spiritually minded individuals might pause to consider whether acquisitions truly serve their well-being or merely feed desires for status and novelty. Entertainment selection. The quality of mental input significantly affects consciousness, just as food quality affects physical health. Choosing entertainment that elevates rather than degrades consciousness, books, films, music that inspire rather than merely stimulate, supports spiritual development. Relationship boundaries. Sense regulation includes discernment about social environments and relationships. Spending time with people who encourage spiritual growth rather than those who constantly seek material pleasures helps maintain proper focus and values. When the temptation of necessity fails, Satan shifts his strategy to the more intoxicating allure of material ambition. He argues that the sun's great purpose requires great means of enterprise, postulating the mantra of the materialist: money brings honor, friends, conquest, and realms.